Thank you so much for listening to this whole entire thing. And I know it was like probably not a perfect vlog, but it's a good starting point. If you guys have any other concerns or Hi everyone, it's Kay, and this video kind of came up impromptu, and that's okay. I think it's going to be a good one. I was cleaning out my Google Drive when I came across all of these Q&A videos that I had done when I first made my YouTube channel. So I figured, why not share? I won't do anything more than that. I might write some reactions, but I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone! I'm finally getting around to doing that vlog that I promised I was going to do what feels like months ago. Life is crazy. So yeah, we're going to start off pretty basic. I figure we would start with like a Q&A because let's be real, I haven't had anything really to update at this point, but that's all right. What is my favorite genre and why? Definitely a toss-up between science fiction and fantasy. That's always been the kind of books that I've loved to read. I really like to get lost in like a different world and think of things that I wouldn't normally see every day, and I feel like writing is the same. I like to think of places that people, they can't go to easily. I'm a sucker for like the whole high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, medieval fantasy, Game of Thrones kind of stuff. How many unpublished and half-finished stories do I have? Do I start since I've started being serious about this, or do we start at like the very beginning? Because if we start when I was in high school, it is a ridiculous amount. Like, I'm pretty sure I've thrown some things away because I'm just never going to get back to them. There's also a lot of stories that I wrote or had drafts of that have kind of evolved into things that I'm working on again now. For example, I feel like Enshrine is kind of loosely based on something that I was writing when I was in college. It's a lot better than it was when I was in college. My current work in progress is something that I did for fun when I was about 15. I don't know. I think I would probably say 4. 4 sounds good. Not counting all those other weird things in notebooks that I try to not think about sometimes. Do I write with a pen name? Yes. I know some people in my family have asked why I use Kay Benson instead of my real name, and it's kind of a secret. And mostly just the fact that Benson is easier to look up than my real last name. How many hours a day do I write? On a good day, I probably could go for hours and hours, maybe, 6. On a bad day, I'm lucky if I get anything done. Do I consider writing a spiritual experience? I don't know if spiritual is the right way to describe it. Sometimes I feel like when I get really going and I've been writing for a while and then I have to come back to the real world, that sometimes it's kind of difficult to do that. And you can ask my husband, I'm kind of in a fog for a while, but I don't know, like spiritual, sure. On that note, I found a question asking if writing energizes or exhausts me. Usually it's pretty energizing. Like I said, I enjoy doing it. I always want to do it. But when I freelance and it's about gross, disgusting subject matter, that can be exhausting. Do I have a favorite spooky story? Kind of a baby. I was going to say a different word, but children. I'm kind of a baby when it comes to things that are scary. I don't like to watch scary movies or anything that's like super gory. I stopped watching The Walking Dead. Who never leaves me alone while I'm writing? There is not one single person. The world does not leave me alone while I'm writing. And, I guess that's okay. Someday I hope that I'm going to be able to write every day as my day job. But until then, there's a bug. Until then, I'm going to have just to deal with it. What is something that I would give up to be a better writer now? I think it means like as a child, like what would I give up in my childhood to be a better writer today? I think Honestly, if I could go back in time, I would take the creative writing classes that were in high school and college instead of focusing so much on the music things that I used to take. I mean, there was a time in my life that I thought I was going to be a music teacher, so I understand why I did what I did, but now, since I'm not doing anything really with that, I wish I had done creative writing. What is something I would tell my younger self about writing? I guess, honestly, just to not stop. I always hoped that I was going to be a writer, a published author, and never in my wildest dreams did I think it would happen at 28 years old. So I probably would tell her that. I'd tell her to just keep on writing every minute that she had, which I pretty much did. And I guess never rule out any particular story or subject matter. How do I select the names for my stories? That is a kind of a cool question. I mean, at the moment I work at a Hebrew day school, and a lot of them have really, really different, unique names that are really cool and beautiful. So for Enshrine especially, there are names like Neb and Nira and Tehillah that were names of students at that school. I also just like names that I hear in life, like, you know, famous hockey players, names of my friends. For my current story that I'm working on that's not published yet, it's a lot of twists on people's names that I knew. So the only person's name who was set in stone was Sages. That's the main character in Enshrine, because that was what my dream hero was calling me in my dream. So yeah, I don't know how you guys pick your names, but that's kind of what works for me. What inspired me to write Enshrine? I think I already wrote about it, but in case you aren't familiar, I had this really weird dream that I was being chased and I knew the guy was really, really evil and that he wanted me back no matter what. So I was running from him, and just when I thought I was going to give up and I wasn't going to be able to get away from him, this guy appeared and he said if I wanted to live, I had to trust him. And we ran and ran until we ended up being in the ocean. And then I woke up and I just couldn't get the idea out of my head. Like, I was actually working on what I'm working on right now, that science fiction work in progress. And I had to stop working on it because Enshrine would not get out of my head. The rest is history. What did I edit out of my book? You guys know. I read it to my 5th grade class. You know what I edited out of my book. Kind of a problem because I was going to have it in my 2nd book, and like 13-year-olds are very interested in it. So it's probably going to get edited out again. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about me. If you have any suggestions or other things that you would like to see maybe in future videos, I'm hoping I'm going to get to vlog part of my release party when it comes, maybe BookCon. You can always comment, and look forward to hearing from you. Bye!